Dr. Doom said, "Here's to the future, my friends."
Oh, Victor, stop that. Don't you know it's Will's world? And like he says, my world, my rules.
It's Will's world, my rules.
Will's World, do 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 do. Will's World, do 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 do. Yeah! Today I'm going to be interviewing the original cast of the Fantastic Four. I got a little something to show you guys.
There you go, brother.
Thanks to my mom. My mom was able to.
Will, in one of the Fantastic Four comics, that Reed has a son that actually wears a 4.5.
Yes.
Oh, does he really? Oh, that's funny.
First, I would like to introduce the director of the Fantastic Four. I hope I'm saying this right. Ole Simpson.
Ole.
Ole.
It's Ole.
We never know. We never get it right.
Alex Hyde White, who played Mr. Fantastic. We have Rebecca Staub, who played Invisible. Is it Invisible Woman or Invisible Girl? Because we've got two different video games, and it's Invisible Woman in those.
Yeah, I like girl.
And then Invisible Girl. We have Jay Underwood, who played Human Torch. Carl.
Here we go. Come on, buddy.
Steve Folio, thank you, Mom. Who played the Thing. And we have our villain, Joseph Culp, who played Dr. Doom.
Right here.
All talk show hosts should have their mother off screen, huh? Helping them out.
Time for some questions. What was your first reaction when you heard you were going to be a part of this movie?
I think for me, I got to be honest here. I wasn't like a huge comic book fan, when this all began. I did know who the Fantastic Four were, but I was very excited because we all had high hopes for this movie, and then to get to play a guy that turns into fire, I thought, well, hey, that's a pretty cool deal. So I was very excited about it.
Yeah, same as Jay. I only learned about the comic book when the audition came up. So I was really excited because when I very first opened up the comic book and I saw what Susan Storm looked like, I'm like, I can do that. Yeah, you mean you get to be a superhero?
I had done a couple of Roger Corman movies, and Roger Corman still is, touch wood, a really famous producer of what they call independent movies, right? I'd done a couple of them in the couple of years prior, so I was stoked, which is a word that used to mean really happy.
You know what, Will? I didn't need to audition for the part because the part of Ben Grimm was already being played by Michael Bailey Smith. What they wanted me to do is show up at costuming and find out if my body was right for the costume they were building. I think the thing that excited me the most was that it was going to be a long run for me, not just a day in and a day out.
Wow, Alex, I got to ask you how much you paid to get that head.
It was a stunt head.
Rubber head that they put on me to go through the wall and do the fight.
That's it. That's probably it.
Well, when I first got the news that I could be Dr. Doom, I was excited and a little bit panicked because I felt there was so much work to be done and such a little time to do it. And so I immediately ran out and bought lots of copies of Fantastic Four and studied them. And I went to a theater that a friend of mine had, and I worked in the afternoons practicing my voice and my gestures because how was I going to play this role in a suit with a mask? I couldn't think about anything else, was to play this role and to do it justice. So it was a very exciting moment, but also a bit terrifying.
Well, I had directed a couple movies for Roger Corman. So like Alex, I kind of knew what the situation was with Roger. But when he called and said the Fantastic Four, all that went out the window. I mean, I was a comic book geek. I loved the Fantastic Four as well. I used to watch it on Saturday morning, the Saturday morning cartoons. And I was just thrilled with the idea of making a movie about the Fantastic Four. And remember, at the time, no one had done a really big movie about the Marvel Comics yet. I just looked at it as a wonderful opportunity. So I was very happy about it.
Well, Rebecca said she opened the comic book and saw her character, and I saw my character. I'm like, I don't have blonde hair. How am I? What's going to happen there? And they said, oh, we'll dye your hair. And the first time I went into the salon to have it dyed, I got all these sores and stuff all over my hair because they were trying to bleach it, and it was like, ah!
In the movie, when you were all quarantined in Dr. Doom's lair, did you learn anything that helped you prepare for the coronavirus?
Well, Hollywood is a fun place in a way that, actors naturally stay away from other people just to begin with.
I'm still working on a special laser that is going to destroy Corona once and for all.
There you go.
Hey, Sue Storm, you're half invisible.
You're like a hologram.
That's
Holy
awesome.
crow, that's good.
You're
Really
still
good special
half
effects.
invisible, Sue.
That's probably how they did in the movie.
You're not coming in and out. Look at that. Ooh.
That is pretty
Yeah.
trippy.
You're the invisible girl.
That's perfect.
I've noticed there's a lot of face touching in this movie. It's not very 2020-like, right?
But Dr. Doom always wore gloves
And a mask.
And a mask.
That's how
So
you
you
stay
see,
protected.
because he's so intelligent, he can see the future and know.
Well, I could right now stretch out and touch you see, from a great distance.
And with Sue being invisible, it would just pass right through
So
me.
what you're saying is Oldie's the only one that has it.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
he can direct it any way he wants. He can direct it away. He can direct it to. He can direct it to somebody else.
Hey, Will, we've been answering questions for a long time about this movie, and hats off to you. We've never had those two questions before.
There you go.
1 out of 10, how cool was it to meet Stan Lee?
It was very cool. Meeting Stan Lee was, I think, the silver lining behind this entire project. I mean, aside from meeting all these wonderful people that we're talking to right now, that we've remained friends for nearly 30 years as a result of it, which is very unusual in Hollywood. But meeting Stan Lee for me in the beginning was an honor and a privilege. And as a result of the film, I got to be pretty good friends with Stan, and I would hang out with Stan Lee at the Marvel office on Wilshire Boulevard, and we would go to lunch together in Westwood. And I would sit at the table with Stan, and he would bemoan the fact that he can't get his Marvel characters made into big movies, and it was a frustration for him. And there I was sitting with the great Stan Lee, and I would see a couple executives from for instance, I knew an executive, Mike Metaboy, who was passing in the restaurant, and I said, "Oh, hey, Mike, how you doing?" And Stan said, "Introduce me." I mean, but of course, the rest is history, and Stan thankfully got to see his characters become world phenomenons, and before he passed, especially. But yeah, he was a genuinely good fellow, I should say.
If we had Michael Bailey Smith on here with us, he would tell you about how Stan Lee brought the donuts to the set one morning.
Right. How cool is that? But I have to say, even after the fact, when I saw Stan at a comic book convention, after his big movies had, exploded, the big Marvel films exploded, the big budgeted films, he was still extremely nice and gracious. And I mean, I know there was a couple times where he was in interviews where he acted like he disowned our project. But he was always very nice to me when I saw him after the fact.
Well, it became a political film afterwards. Once the success of Marvel matured after Stan participated in it. This film became political in the sense that a lot of people didn't talk about it and acknowledge it because they were paid sort of not to. And so it's a very interesting part of Hollywood history. But that happens a lot of times with really well-known people like Stan Lee or Michael Jordan or other people that almost have an iconic status, that they're personally very nice, like Stan was to Ole, while at the same time politically and business-wise saying, oh no, that movie was never meant to, you know. So it's an interesting concept for a young journalist to understand how pop culture, especially now at your age, American product, film, music, television, the bigger it gets, sometimes the more politically valuable it gets.
Excellent, Reed Richards. Excellent.
Reed Richards explains it all for you.
This movie has a huge fan base. How did that happen since it was never released?
It became kind of cool to discover it. And in many ways, it's really better in the long term that the movie never really was released, because it's been released. It's been viewed millions of times.
What's unique about our version is that our version is very dedicated to the actual comic book. That we really made this one for the fans. That as we were creating it and, you know, working on scenes and dialogue, we always had the fans in mind, knowing that they knew the comic book, they knew the characters, they knew the situation, and it was our duty and obligation and pleasure to make something that they would be proud of, that they would like, that they would want more of. And so in our production, it was about the audience and about the fans. And I think that that's why this one has lasted the test of time, because it's really true to the characters, it's really true to the book, and it's really true to the fans. And I think it's the only one that's really done that effectively.
Word got out that we were making the film. And so the comic fan base for Fantastic Four, they all knew about it. You know, they heard about it. We had started to do interviews with magazines and started to do comic conventions. Fans of the comic knew what was going on. The movie was being made. The movie was going to come out. And so then, of course, when it didn't come out, then that became a whole story unto itself. Well, why didn't this movie come out? And people wanted to know why it didn't come out. And so then slowly over time, different people and media outlets started to ask the question, why didn't this come out? And that just was kind of fuel for the fire. And then here we are almost 30 years later, still talking about it. Yep.
A cult. No, not a cult film, but a cult film.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a cult film a little bit too, which means there's an underground movement about this film, Will. It was more exciting for people to discover it than the big budget versions of the film later.
There's only a handful of us who have seen it big, and it really works. It really works.
And I think our film looks better in the sense that, like Rebecca said, the 2 or 3 that have come since, they've never really captured a human element. They can have all bells and whistles, and those films have been poorly received. So there's almost like this curse. Nobody can ever get the Fantastic Four right because they've seen these big versions in the last 20 years. And so you go back and say, hey, wait a minute. There was this little plucky one.
It has a lot of heart. It has a lot of heart and a lot of energy.
Yeah,
And
the new ones
and
don't.
without question, you know, we will, though I say no Fantastic Four film will ever be successful, really, because we were not given our full due, our full release. There's a systemic problem there, and it will not happen. It's like
Very
you must
French.
honor the ancestor. You have to honor the ancestor.
And I want to add something. The head of the company that actually had the rights to the film, Bernd Eichinger, who has since passed. I've talked to Robert Kulzer, who's now running the company, and he told me a story that when he and Bernd were screening the very first big budgeted Fantastic Four movie at Fox, when he walked out of the screening room, Bernd Eichinger turned to Robert and said in his German accent, Orly's film is better.
Well, it is. It is. He's absolutely
An incredible
I haven't heard
story.
that one. That's a good one, Oli.
That's a true
Oh,
story.
that's
And I tell
a
you,
true story.
I darn near started crying. Director, I couldn't have had a better cast. This is the embodiment of the real Fantastic Four right here. Your personalities. I mean, even now when I'm watching you talk and what you're saying and how you're acting, I mean, you know, Johnny Storm's enthusiasm, that's Jay, all over the place. You know, you've got Alex Hyde White's steady hand and leadership and talk and is explaining things right now. I mean, that's, you know, and Joseph Culp is still got the Shakespearean sort of manner
He's
about
over the top.
speaking.
He's still over the top.
I mean, it's and Carl, you embodied the thing. I mean, you were the thing. The wonderful thing about Rebecca, she was a dynamo, you know, but a female-driven character that was powerful and was out there, you know, keeping her own with the men in the story. Vulnerability on one side, the loving matriarchal figure of the group. I mean, and it was a wonderful embodiment. All the
We need like a big group hug now. It's like I just want to hug you.
indeed.
let Oli set it up.
Oh, thanks, Alex. It's the scene where Reed Richards is putting together the fact that their personalities is what gave them their ultimate power.
The power, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll all read it first, and then we'll put.
Gave them respective power.
That's it.
It's what they thought were their weaknesses were actually their greatest strengths.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, kick us off there. You got the first line, Rebecca.
Okay. Why am I always so shy around you?
What did you say?
Well, I just want.
Susan, no. What did you just say about being shy?
It's just a problem that I have sometimes when I'm.
That's it, Susan. You've got a problem with being shy, right? So you vanish. Get it? Johnny, you always had a quick temper, right? Ever since I've known you, right? You could call it fiery.
I catch fire.
Exactly. And me, I've always had this problem. I stretch myself thin, trying to take care of everybody and doing everything at once. Ben, you always rely too much on brute strength when your intelligence would have sufficed, right? Don't you see? We know one thing from the blood test, and that's our DNA has been altered. And I think Colossus has touched our psyche. I think it's made us feel like our worst character defects are in fact our greatest strengths.
Holy Freud, Batman. I think you're right.
Great, and it's good because we're out of film.
Bravo! That's so good. Oh my God.
Oh, this is bizarre. This is like surreal.
Oh, we're going to do a staged reading of the Fantastic Four.
It'll get more. It'll get
We
more.
can travel around the country.
I'm telling you, we should do it on Zoom.
Yeah, this is a trip, man.
It really is. Okay, well, we're going to get Will in here. So, Will, you get to read Richards' part. Any thoughts for him, Alex, on playing this character?
Will, look at you. You got the 4. You've got everything. There's only 2 things that are needed, okay? 3. One is your head, one is your heart, and the third one is just trust that they both work beautifully, okay? And then speak slowly.
All right, here we go.
How slowly?
Here, Ola, you can give us the action.
That's a good question. Start slow, and then you pick up momentum. And then when it all begins to make sense, you sort of land it again. Slow it, okay?
Okay, sound speed, rolling.
Okay, ready? And action.
Why am I always so shy around you?
What did you say?
Well, I just want.
Susan, what did you just say about being shy?
Well, it's just a problem that I have sometimes when I'm around you.
That's it, Susan. You've got a problem with being shy, right? So you vanish. Get it? Johnny, you've always had a quick temper ever since I've known you. You could call it fiery.
I catch fire.
Exactly. And me, I've always had this problem. I can stretch myself thin trying to take care of everybody, doing everything at once. Ben, you always rely too much on your brute strength when your intelligence would have sufficed. Don't you see? We know one thing from our blood test, and that's that our DNA has been altered, and I think Colossus has touched our psyche. I think that it's made us feel like our worst character defects are in fact our greatest strengths.
Holy Freud, Batman. I think you're right.
No way. No way. Oli, do not cast that young actor. No way.
Alex has got some competition.
No, which is it? Oli, is it me or him? You got to tell me
I
now.
don't know. It's kind of neck and neck there, brother.
For the remake.
I'm gonna
Good
say
job,
when
Will.
we do the flashback.
Good job, Will.
Excellent, Will. I got goosebumps.
Man, that was, yeah.
Maybe we should do maybe we should do a remake, and I'm Reed Richards.
That's a good idea. Yeah, good.
And then in some scenes, I pop in as Dr. Doom.
It's going to be a whole new twist on the Reed Richards Sue Storm relationship. Now you got the older woman with the younger guy. You know, in the movie, it's more like but you know.
You can be 4.5.
No, I think you could do it you could do a double role, you know. You could play Reed and Victor, and, you know, do something no actor has ever thought to do before.
Nobody wants in the suit, huh?
I'm leaving the suit to you.
Nobody
You're gonna
wants
keep
in
your
the
part,
suit.
Carl.
You're stuck with that, Carl.
No,
All right, we'll do Dr. Doom's lair. Okay. So this is where we see. I think we come in contact with Dr. Doom for the first time after being on his.
Yeah, this was the biggest.
You've been
Wherever
captured
he's at.
and in the castle.
This was the biggest set in the film, wasn't it? It was.
Oh
huge.
man, gigantic.
Yeah.
We needed
Okay.
Corman's supersized stage for this one, didn't we?
a lot more cardboard boxes, yeah.
Johnny, this looks like it incorporates some kind of atomic splitter. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Coming from you, Dr. Richards, that is quite the compliment.
Who are you?
My name is Doom.
Nice suit. Oh, that's Johnny's line.
Sorry, I'm laughing so hard. I see Carl's hand go up.
Oh, my Lord.
We might need to
Sorry.
start this one again.
Take two.
Okay, go back. Go
Stop.
back.
Take
Joseph.
two.
Give me the cue line. My name is
Pull it
Doom.
back. Come on.
I remember.
Oh,
Oli,
No, let's go to the beginning. Okay, we're gonna.
Yes, two takes.
Oli, would you please
All right,
call
we're still-
take two on
Yeah.
Still rolling. We didn't cut. We're still rolling. Go ahead.
We don't have that much film.
Pick it up.
Back to
Johnny,
one.
stop laughing. Have a look around.
Back to one. Back to one.
Oli, will you get control of the cast, please?
All right, ready? Here we go.
Johnny, this looks like it incorporates some kind of atomic splitter. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Coming from you, Dr. Richards, that is quite a compliment.
Who are you?
My name is Doom.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Where are we?
A beautiful, charming little country, and I am its supreme and beloved monarch. Come back and visit us sometime for a vacation. Bring the kids. That is, when I've finished with you.
You're finished with us now.
Oh, no, 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 no.
You're
I
finished.
have not
Now.
even started.
You're going home.
How rude of you. After all the trouble, I want you to feel at home. You're running off like naughty little children. I just can't allow that.
Yeah, well, who asked you, you overgrown tin can?
Hot-tempered, aren't we, Jonathan? Take my advice. Keep your cool. Return to your rooms and wait like good little children.
Or
Or you will know pain greater than your worst nightmare.
Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?
we're going home.
I had hoped it would not come to this. Alive or dead, your value to me remains the same.
It's clobbering time.
Bravo. Joseph, you want to give him a couple little tips?
How to eat the
So
scenery?
like Alex said
some of
before,
your-
Will, speak low and slowly
So you
and
get
a
more screen
big
time.
voice.
Okay, we're rolling. And action.
Johnny, this looks like it incorporates some kind of atomic splitter. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Coming from you, Dr. Richards, that's quite the compliment.
Who are you?
My name is Doom.
Nice suit.
Where are we?
Beautiful, charming little country, my supreme and beloved monarch. Come back and visit us sometime for a vacation. Bring the kids. That is, when I'm finished with you.
You're finished with us now.
No, 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 no. I have not even started.
We're going home.
How rude of you. After all the trouble, I want you to feel at home. And you're running off like naughty little children. I can't allow that.
Yeah, well, who asked you, you overgrown tin can?
Hot-tempered, aren't we, Jonathan? Take my advice. Keep your cool. Return to your rooms and wait like good little children.
Or
Or you will know pain far greater than your worst nightmare.
Sorry I'm late. Miss anything?
we're going home.
I had hoped it would not come to this. Alive or dead, your value to me remains the same.
It's clobbering time.
Good job, Will.
Well done. Well done.
I feel,
come
I
you
feel
guys-
better.
A nice little
Look at
Will,
Will with
I
him.
feel so much better because you were even better as Dr.
That's the thing. Which one, Oli? Who's he gonna play?
Come on. Will, I want you to do one thing for me, Will. Do your laugh. Do a very big laugh.
And now with the hands, you gotta get the hands up.
Do that.
Good.
Perfect.
Oh, that
How
hurts.
about
And
in
if
case,
he-
in
Coming
case
from you, that's quite the compliment.
by the time they make part
Ah.
two, Will might fit the suit. So how does he say clobbering time, Carl? What would be some acting chops there for?
You know what, Will? You got to dig really deep here. It's got to come from deep in your gut, as they say. Start the rumble down by your chest and let it roll up through your throat, nice and slow and deliberate. Go.
It's clobbering time!
Whoa, buddy!
There it is.
Nicely done, son.
Thanks.
Will, what's your
Right.
availability? Are you available? Are you a young actor? Are you available? Will?
Let me think about that. I don't think so.
Good. That's always good. Always turn it down. That's one thing we couldn't do for Roger Corman. Always turn down the first
No.
offer. Yeah. Unless it's Roger.
Somehow we couldn't
Make him
manage
big.
that.
What is your favorite and least favorite parts of the movie?
Jay?
Uh,
Well,
My-
you know, I'll go first. But
go ahead.
My favorite parts of the movie are when all of the actors are speaking My least favorite parts of the movie are the special effects.
I think my
Very-
favorite part of this movie was certainly getting to make the movie with everybody, but to me, truly, it is what you're seeing right here. It's everybody. It's these people that made this so special. And the fact, again, that we are here almost 30 years later, still enjoying one another, keeping in touch with one another, because like Ole, I think, said, this by far, out of all the jobs I've done, has been the most thrilling to remain friends with everybody.
My favorite part of the movie was maybe kind of selfish here, but the fact that I got to play the Thing. The more I got to know about the character, the more Ole's direction made sense to me, the more the movie made sense to me. So it was a thrill because we all happened to be the firsts. And to be the first to do something in this industry is something pretty special, because so much in this industry has been done. So that was a big part of it. What I liked least is the fact that there was no cool suit under that thing. The only air that I had was through the mouth hole, so that was a tough one. But back to what Jay said, this is such a bonus for us. So thanks for bringing us together.
Welcome.
I think I had my favorite scenes, I mean, kind of what everybody else said, is when we were actually all together, when it really is the Fantastic Four. I liked in the headquarters, the time that Ben Grimm had left and was feeling bad and comes back. I mean, it still makes me cry when, he comes to the door and Sue runs and hugs him. And, that was that scene where we did that, like with the Fantastic Four, because then it just really felt like, we were a team. And when we were in the spacesuit and, that whole landing and, everybody's kind of dirty and by the fire and, what are we going to do? And again, it was realizing that we're going to be okay because we have each other. We have each other, and we still do. And gosh, this is just.
I love her.
It's like it is. Well, this really is rare. Like everyone said, this doesn't happen like with every movie, and the fact that we have all stayed friends and. The way that this all unrolled, like the drama behind the drama, has actually helped the movie and helped us all stay together. And then here we are today when nobody gets to go anywhere or see anybody. And you, now a new member of our Fantastic Four team, you brought us all together again. So thank you.
Will, the fate of it, fatalistic, means something that was meant to be. And that happened in '93 when we all met. It was meant to be, and we were the right actors for it. We were the right people for it. It just really felt, look, it's a movie that lasted 4 weeks, all right? And there's always a little bit of, oh, I'm sad it's over, like a good party or your birthday or whatever, okay? We never thought this would come around again. And we let it live. We tried to give it a life to entertain the fans for about a year until it took Ole a year to try to sneak it done. We almost got it. And then it sort of went away for a while. And then it's come back. It just, the story, Will, it kept it alive. And that's never happened before to any of us.
Will, what Alex said and what many of us have been saying is nothing short of a phenomenon, something that is extraordinary, something that just doesn't happen. We've all done lots of movies and television shows over the years, and this is something unprecedented, has not happened before. You can't find another incidence of this where we, like Alex said, somehow there was something meant to be. We came together to do something that might have just been forgotten, and it's become a source of creativity and joy and bringing people together and laughter and excitement and talk, for 30 years. And very few films will ever do that. And we have done it. We are all touched by the Fantastic Four. For me personally, I grew up wanting nothing more than to play evil villains. I loved all monsters. Monsters were my friends. Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, Godzilla. These were my heroes. So I got to play one. And not only did I get to play one, but many people, still write to me to this day to ask for a photo or to talk about what happened when I played this role. So that's a dream of an actor, and I got to have that dream, and I'm very, very proud of it, and so happy with all the people that helped me do it. All the people on this meeting today, this call, helped me do that, and I'm very grateful. And the scene in the film I think I like best is when it all comes together in the final act, and Doom is there, and the Fantastic Four are trapped in the laser beam, and Doom is just going crazy with his monologue to them about, look at me and look what happened and look at us all, and now I'm gonna take it all. And then the whole thing explodes in a big fight. And I just think that's the greatest moment in the movie. So thank you all. And thank you, Will, as Rebecca said so well, because you made this happen. You brought us together in this time. Nobody else did that but you. Thank you.
Indeed. We can say thankfully because of what we all did, because we wanted to do it, not because it was a big payday or something. We all did it because we were passionate about making this movie. And as a result of that, the reward is this. Here's our reward. And thank you for bringing us together, man. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm glad you all were able to have a fun time and were able to see each other again.
Good luck to you, Will.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out my Instagram account. It's _Wills_World_. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Once you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified when I post more high quality videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, my world, my rules.
A relationship or a job.
And he's gone.
Oh,
It's
Will's world.
Will's world.
my world.
My world.
My rules.
I rule.
Let's do that.